Hello, Skoggul here, doing another FOE Training Grounds game. And this game, I am Corporate Mundo, and on Corporate Mundo, I am going to be jungling. I picked Mundo because I was going against Amumu, and I felt that that was a good matchup for me. Was last pick. I usually hope to get top or mid when that happens, but I don't get it. Our first pick was Nidalee, who's a real life friend, and he's helping me make the website. And he got counterpicked pretty hard by this Pantheon. That is a good pick if they take Nidalee. He banned out Jace, wanting to take Shen, and she took Nidalee, which kind of screwed him, other than the fact that he picked afterwards, so he just switched to Pantheon, and this Pantheon really does a good job against our Nidalee. So I am going to have to camp top a lot. I'm going to speed up the beginning. One thing I do, basically, if I jungle on either side, I love to go get the top buff. So even if I was like a Mumu, I'd probably take red and gank top. My whole goal here, try to gank top. So Mundo clears the wolves super fast. I get a pretty good leash. And I head over to the blue buff. And a decent enough leash, that's all I needed. Basically, gets reset, but that's fine. That was kind of my fault. I guess I should have repositioned. So anyhow, I'm going to think about what to do. I'm just going to go top, and I like to gank top early and often, especially someone like Pantheon who wants to get aggressive against Nidalee. I miss, and I will force him to run back. He makes a huge mistake here by not flashing right away, so that's going to give my Nidalee a better chance in this lane. And that was basically all I was trying to do. I should have probably turned around, went right back through the tri-brush, and ran right back in there. But I don't really want to. I just want to get level 3 and then figure out another place to gank. So, I'm going to go base. I want cloth. Even if I don't build it into anything later, I kind of like to have it early game. Makes a big difference on your laning or on your jungling speed. So, my Ashe is actually just doing whatever she wants in that bottom lane. Malphite's doing enough to keep him down. Support Scion's a cool idea. It doesn't pan out in this game. I'm not saying anything's wrong with it. So here, I'm just trying to get off behind Malzahar. Looking at where Malzahar is, I think that. But I catch Mundo, or Amumu. And something I noticed, Blue's buff is gone. And I am able to figure out where Amumu is, and he's trying to base, which makes this a really easy kill for me. And he's a little bit ahead of me because he's only been farming, but that's over right there. He's no longer ahead of me. And quick kill, we're up 2-0. I kind of think that that's a good thing, and I don't know how Malzahar doesn't think I'm coming, because I had just killed a Mumu in his jungle back there, so he should have been more ready for that, not had to waste his flash. So if you know that they're in a position to go gank you like that, don't just get yourself caught out of position. And at this point, I know I'm going to have to go top a lot, and I know that going bottom isn't necessary. Just looking at how this game's panning out, is this Ashe is poking down their Ezreal, and their Ezreal only has 9 CS, and he forced him to back and gets the kill on Scion. I don't know how Malph didn't get involved in that, but whatever, no biggie. I want to go top again. And I basically think, hey, he might be warded, but he's pretty extended. He does kill Nidalee. And here I come in, and I don't think he was ready for me at all. And unfortunately for me, I just don't have it right there when he blocked it. I thought it would be enough, but one more tower shot and I was dead. So that was a close enough call that I didn't really want to deal with that. And I know that he has to back. If he comes out, I can kill him. I just can't tower dive him when I don't have any hit points. So that's kind of what happens there. Push it out to his tower. Mumu's going to circle around, wants revenge for the kill I got. And I'm trying to tell my friend to stay safe. That's just not a good matchup for him. He just needs to heal up and farm. And just save all his mana for heals, not throw spears. But like I said, that is not a good matchup for you. I guess I should block the vision. So my goals here, harass mid, because I want to be able to win every lane. I want to harass mid. I want to steal the blue buff because it is a Amumu. And I see Amumu in the mid, so I'm just going to sit here and take his blue buff. He's going to come try to get it and be sad. Not my problem. And here he's going to try to fight me. I use my ult. He can't fight me. Mundo just kind of counters Amumu just because of that. Not only did I take his blue buff, but I can go kill him if I catch him in the jungle. And Ashe is getting pretty fed, basically. So Ashe is already at 5-0, which is fairly ridiculous this early in the game. And I'm pinging this like crazy, telling Annie to come, but she doesn't come. So I go ahead and let Nidalee have it, which basically let Pantheon have it. So that was probably a bad idea by me. You'll see what I'm saying in a minute. So here, and when you're getting counterpicked like that, just play safe. There's no reason for Nidalee to do anything but play safe. There's not a whole lot of other importance here. And Malphite's going bottom, and I see what they're doing. And I see them getting pushed to the tower, and Ashe and Malphite go, and I'm going to try to get there in time. And I don't get there in time to get him, but I do land the slow onto Ezreal. Give me assist. Gotta love assist. So here, I'm going to take their camps as often as possible. That's what you do when doing this. Don't really care. Run into everyone, and that was crappy. Had that timed out a little bit better for me, or Malzahar not been there, I would have been fine. And there's, like I said, there goes our Nidalee. I wish that buff would have gone on to Annie. It didn't, but no biggie. Our Ashe is getting super fed. I really don't have to go bottom to do anything. Their Mumu, I know he's tanky, but you actually have to be a little bit ahead, either in levels or have the items to be tanky. Right now, he just wants to be tank. That's not really working out for him. I get the experience off the tower. As a jungler, you don't want to waste experience, so get the experience off the tower. If it's pushed to a tower, you want to go there. Take their farm, take their experience. It doesn't really matter. Amumu's behind, and part of your job as a jungler, when you know that, is to keep them behind. So Amumu can't go after my Ashe if I'm there. Just die. So this is kind of how I try to play this champion, is I try to be annoying, go into their jungle, counter jungle a lot, gank where you can, counter gank, and try to be a meat shield for your team. You heal up so fast that it doesn't really matter. So here, I know their blue buff respawned, and I just don't want Amumu to have a blue buff. I don't care if someone else takes this blue buff from me. Here I'm going to give it to Malphite. I just don't want Amumu to have it. So we're in a little poke fest, kind of fun. Throwing briefcases at people, get them through the wall. He makes a mistake, caught out, we get a kill. And fairly easy, as long as you're invading and being aggressive. I know the bottom tower's down, so it's really easy to be aggressive on the bottom half of their jungle. So towards their mid and bottom lane, easy aggression. Mundo takes dragon really easy. His Q does a percentage of their life, so it's actually a lot of damage. And I don't know why he warded it afterwards. I would have warded the approach so it didn't get stolen from us, but it's not a big deal. If you are a support, though, try to ward that on the approach to them so you can see if they're coming to steal your dragon from you. Because that can be a big deal if you get it or they get it. So 1k to the team, and it just puts you farther ahead or helps them close the gap if you were ahead. Think of it as a half a kill for your entire team, basically. And here comes Pantheon. Wanted to get the Annie, who went in and baited that fight, but isn't able to do so, and it cost him his life. And since he died, I really wanted to get this tower, because we're not winning top, and I know it sounds a little weird, but I didn't know if we'd get another great opportunity to get the tower. I try to leave so that Nidalee can have the farm as much as you kind of want to tax the lane. I also don't want to have things happen. And Annie's coming, and I told Nidalee not to take it, but she took it. That wasn't me trying to give it to a friend. That was my friend kind of not, I guess he got it last time, so he assumed every blue buff was his. I think they should go to Annie for more or less obvious reasons. And here I don't have as many wards as I really should have. He tries to ward, and it's going to get him killed. And I'm really not that concerned about Amumu, he's not very strong right now, unfortunately for Amumu. So free towers, and the strategy is just to go in there, steal their jungle as often as possible, go back and get mine sometimes. But you look at my item build, I do go W first and E and 1 point in Q. I kind of use it to slow them. It's not my major source of damage. I try to do my W and my E as my damage, and I'm able to finish up Warmogs. I don't know that that's the best item right here, but the way we were winning, I just felt like if I got a Warmogs, that extra hit points would let me stay in fights a little longer, and that would be enough for us to just win every team fight and just control the pace of this game. So here, we're able to just kind of take control. We have control of the dragon. We have control of that. Ashe can just obliterate anybody. So part of this game is just going really good because of Ashe, but part of it is just the ability to keep the pressure on them all game. We just, wherever we want to go, we just go, and we're just going to take this tower, and the pre-20-minute tower and inhibitor means that they're either going to surrender or it's going to be, there's pretty much screwed anyways, because there's not a whole lot of coming back from this. And in team fights, it's just really easy for us to, if we can just turn our focus on one guy, it doesn't even matter if that guy's a Mumu, it makes no difference. We get one of the towers and Ezreal, then we're able to pick off their Scion, and their Malzahar turns around and gets somebody, and Amumu just can't do anything. So I'm really just not that scared of Mumu. Run on out of there with your briefcase. We'll slow that fight down again, and I can talk about some of my decisions here. So the first thing I wanted to do was get this tower down. And basically all you need is some hit points on Mundo, and he's really strong. He gets a percentage of his life back, and so hit points are a big deal on him. And there, I'm just throwing my briefcases, or your Q if it's your axe or whatever it is. You're just trying to get that down. So here, Ezreal kind of gets himself out of position, arcane shifting, trying to get Ashe, and we've taken down the tower, so he has no protection. That's like jumping out into the middle of your lane. It's not really a great idea. And here, Sion's just a little bit out of position, the slow, and that's all it takes. And Malphite, unfortunately, is just a little too deep past the tower. And even with the Ashe arrow, there's no follow-up because I can't take the tower for too long. And Malphite just gets himself caught between all the towers. And then Nidalee kind of gets caught. And that's sort of why Nidalee dies in this next fight with Amumu, because I know that if I turn around and hit Malzahar, that he'd already used his other stuff, and that Nid Spear was pretty clutch right there. And then it didn't help Malzahar that Amumu missed. But Amumu's going to chase onto me and ult onto me with my ult going, allowing Nidalee to get some free damage in, and I just want to kite this. I can't just turn around and fight him because I'm too low, but if he takes many more shots from Nidalee or turns his focus around, then I can easily go in on this. And he's taking more damage from my AoE than I am from his, and that's enough to get the kill. So I think that left me at about 100 hit points. And that would be that fight. That's pretty much it for the fights. I don't know that they last much longer. I don't even think they surrender. I think they actually make us come win this. So jungling looks really easy when your lanes win. Annie at least wasn't dying to Malzahar. Nidalee wasn't winning, so I was camping and got some kills onto Pantheon, and bottom was just a landslide. It just snowballed. Once you get ahead on Ashe, they can't really get away from you. You can't really kite Ashe. She has a built-in red buff, and she just obliterates Ezreal. So at this point, they don't have an AD carry, they don't have an AP carry, and it's really not too hard from there. There, it's just go take the tower and fight anyone who wants to come out and fight us, because it's not a great idea to fight us. And Ezreal, you can't go past people, and here's Ashe. If Ashe is here, you're dead. So here's Malzahar again, have to get out of his pool. That's something that I was trying to tell my friend. He didn't get out of the Malzahar pool, and that's what got that kill. So that kind of is how this game ends. With Corporate Mundo, you want to pick him at times where they pick slower junglers or blue reliant junglers like Fiddlesticks, Amumu. You want to pick him against the slower clear junglers that have a lot of they have some capabilities. Amumu has some really strong capabilities, but if you take Shyvana or Mundo against um, an Amumu, you can go into their jungle. If you find them, you can kill them. There's just a lot of junglers that can't deal with what Mundo or Shyvana bring to the table. So always consider a player like champion like Mundo in those situations. He's just find which junglers are weak at dueling which junglers, and then you can go ahead and wreck their jungle, play aggressive, and be rewarded instead of play aggressive and struggle. Anyhow, that is it for this game. Thank you for watching, and I hope you had the best luck in your own games. Take care.